Hello everybody, welcome back. StarCraft 2 action. We're back for some 1v1 action. We have Elazer going up against Ryung in the Homestory Cup 26 Group D. And these players together with Cyril in Group D. Might call it the Group of Death. Not sure if Group D was the Group of Death this time around. Definitely pretty tough group. And so Elazer and Ryung kind of have to win to have a chance of making it out of Group D. Since, you know, Cyril is Cyril. And Elazer goes for a 15 hatch into another extractor trick. Overlord. And Ryung going for the singular gas now. I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it quickly again here. Elazer was a little bit out of practice, was playing a little bit more Stormgate than StarCraft. And so he was slightly out of practice, and because of that, he was playing a little wonky. Which is exactly what we want to see from our Zergs. We want to see our Zergs play like Dark. Where it just kind of seems like they don't care, but they can win anyways. I was watching Roddy's stream yesterday, I think. And it was Max Packs against Dark, and it was just like Max Packs was just grilling Dark for like 10 minutes straight on Amygdala. And he had like Colossi with 20 plus kills, just getting infinite value. And then out of nowhere, Dark just kind of got back into the game, stuck on 60 drones, made a couple Vipers, dealt with the low amount of Colossi, and just kept pumping out Roach Hydra, just kept attacking, and just managed to find holes in the armor of Max Packs, who had expanded to 4 bases as well. It's like losing 100 probes all of a sudden, and like Dark seemingly dead, playing from the grave. Did end up coming back into that game. Not sure if he won, I think he won. Just did some Call of the Haunted shit, where he just stayed alive. Elazer getting the double queen opener here. No Zerglings have to be made because these queens are out earlier, and he's even gasless as of right now. It's kind of cool. Might be going into roaches. Can't do this on every map, but here you can kind of always greet the Reaper with the queen, either here in front or over here. So not too big of a problem. 3rd CC for Ryung coming out. He's getting a factory and a reactor, so some Hellions will be coming out. And of course, this area here can be patrolled by the Hellion Reaper quite nicely, but Elazer is putting out some Overlords to get some vision, and hopefully also get his creep out there. We do have an Overlord ready to scout. Elazer hasn't seen anything yet, just sees the one Reaper. We see a Roach Warren in the front, and the gas is being mined again. Wouldn't be surprised to see a second gas coming up anytime now, as all of the minerals are saturated on 2 bases, but I guess 3 bases is still nice. Let's see how many queens will be made. This was, of course, shortly, very shortly after the queen was increased in price, mineral-wise. And what is Elazer going to do? 9 more drones coming out. His Roach Warren is about to finish up, so that will be a nice moment to make a couple Roaches. And there's only 1 Reaper, 2 Hellions out, so this is very nicely timed out. If he starts a couple Roaches the moment it starts, you'll have Roaches before Hellion number 3 and 4 come in. And we have 2 queens over here. Wow. Evo Chambers is completely blocking this off, so this second Evo Chamber is probably just for the blockening. That is very interesting. Ryung is keeping Hellions at home to make sure that the Ling Floods we've been seeing, or well, I wasn't really seeing them, but people in the comments definitely saw them. Couldn't do any damage. We saw Cyril do it against Clem in the playoffs. If you haven't seen that yet, pretty cool games between Cyril and Clem. And here are the Roaches. Lair is started up as well from Elazer. Double gas completing. And now his 3rd base also completely saturated. But Ryung is going mech, actually. Battle mech. He's getting the Cyclone upgrade. And has Elazer seen it? He hasn't really seen it. Probably saw 1 factory, but that is it. I mean, if that factory was building and he saw it and he knows there's Hellions on the map, then he knows it's 2 Hellion, or 2 fact at least. Which, honestly, I mean, Ryung is a guy who would biomech, but going to fact that early? Like, he probably suspects some kind of a Cyclone build. The Roaches find it out. I don't know why they are trying to run. And the Hellions plus the Cyclone do kill the Roaches. More Roaches are being created. Second Evo Chambers come up, and we see Carapace out of Elazer. So before this, he was still assuming Bio, most likely. Because Carapace, I mean, it's okay against Cyclones, but you just rather have range. Ooh, this is a nice SimCity here for Elazer. Pretty difficult for Ryung to get into that natural. The drone did get fried, so no fourth base as of yet. Oh, these Roaches. Nice. We could see a Reaper bomb try and push the Roaches out of the way, but if the Roaches then enclose the Hellions, they are so screwed. We do see 3 Cyclones, and the upgrade is about to finish. Wow, it's a pretty slow upfield. The mag field accelerators, and you see it from the targeting lasers. But this is a lot of Roaches. No Zerglings, but we do see Zergling speed coming out. And these Roaches are going to try and push back this Hellion Cyclone force. We see Blue Flame is about to finish as well. And wow, Elazer making all of those red Roaches into Ravagers. Pretty nice, but it's pretty hard to hold on here. No creep for Elazer, and Ryung is pushing into him. We see Roach speed is pretty close to being done. And Ryung probably can't cancel that, so Elazer is losing a bunch of units here. But he is surviving. Ryung is getting nice damage, is getting his third base up and making a fourth CC as well. Now Roach speed has finished and the upgrades are about to finish up. We see +1 Carapace finishing up. Not doing too much against this attack from Ryung though. The Cyclones don't care too much. But +1 attack is about to finish. 11 Roaches, and we have 66 drones Roaches. No Swarm Host, which Swarm Hosts aren't super good against Battle Mech. A couple Infestors can really help, though. Hydras are also kind of fine, but oh, here come the Blue Flame Hellions, and you want to be ready for those, because if they run into your mineral line, Elazer on the 66 drone economy, that's a bigger loss than you want to admit to yourself. 4 drones going down. Well, he made buildings out of 2 of them, so I guess only 2 drones going down. We do see the infestation pick coming out. We see a fourth base being created at the top here. I kind of like that because at the bottom here, we don't see a lot of creep at all from Elazer. It does have the 1, 2, 3, 4 tumors. So pretty light on the tumors. He's on a budget here. He does have the 4 queens. I don't think we lost any queens. Did not lose any queens. Did lose 24 Roaches. That's kind of crazy. 3 more factories being added on here for Ryung. Already has the 5. That's so many. Do we have any siege tanks back at home? No, we do not. And we see a Roach run by here in the natural of Ryung. And these Roaches, on hold position, trying to kill the Cyclone. But if they were on hold position, they would have killed a couple more SCVs. Roaches in the back, but Roaches and Lings get into the third base as well now. We do not have Burrow for Elazer. That would be great. Burrow movement might be a little expensive, but just Burrow would have been really nice, forcing a couple scans. And oh my god, a lot of SCVs have died and are dying still. These Cyclones in the back, though, do get targeted down by Ryung and his Cyclones. And Ravagers are very expensive units to be losing right now. We do see 20 SCVs going down. We still have 60 workers for Ryung in total. So those 20 SCVs, fourth base has been established even. Wow. And Elazer doesn't know that much about it. It's getting a hive, so might be looking at either Broodlords or Vipers to be added on into his army, but for now he needs to stop this Battlemech army from actually just killing him straight up. Do have a bunch of Lings here, no Banelings, but we might see a decently nice surround with the Lings and the Roaches. The Lings are going to try and keep the Cyclones at bay. Not a lot of Hellions remaining anymore. A couple of them do come out to play, but the Lings are already gone. The Roaches and the Ravagers do get a couple pickups on the Cyclones, but the Cyclones are just evaporating all of the Roaches here. No upgrades for Ryung, just Cyclones with the Mag Accelerator upgrade. And now 14 more Roaches are coming up. Can Elazer hold on here? His supplies not looking too good. His worker count not looking too hot. But if he can kill this army, or at least push it away, kill most of the units. Oh, but Ryung is getting super good trades here. Couple Lings come out, but those will evaporate to the Blue Flame, and the Cyclones are just making quick work out of these roaches. They do click very nicely on the Cyclones, though. Nice target fire from Elazer, pushing Ryung back a little bit. A couple roaches trying to do some damage at the 4th base, which became an orbital. That is crazy greedy, but Ryung does have the map control to sustain it. A lot more roaches coming out. We do have +2 attack for the roaches now. And just honestly awful creep spread, and a couple drones are gonna go down here. Oh, the Cyclone Hellion fight half the army, whereas the rest of the army is not doing too much since the Hellions already leave it. And now the Cyclone's getting more trades. This Barracks is doing a good job of providing vision to Ryung. Doesn't have to use the scans, although he has 4 CCs. But Elazer runs out of roaches. How many roaches? Almost 100 roaches were lost for the cost of 20 Cyclones. That is pretty rough. Elazer investing into a hive, investing into an infestation pit, 2 Evo chambers even, and just pure roach. Man, I don't know if that hive was like a burrow upgrade a little earlier. Might have been okay, but like Elazer did a good amount of damage, but then just wasn't able to hold on. Like fungal just barely doesn't last long enough to like make a couple infestors, but it could be useful. It was just kind of a numbers game, and Ryung's micro was pretty good. Elazer down 1-0 in this best of 3. And for game number 2, we load up into Amygdala LE. Ryung taking the first game against Elazer in this best of 3. Of course, Amygdala is the map with these infested rocks, the gold bases, and I talked about Dark versus Max packs, and it was happening. All of it was happening over here. We had some queens, we had roaches, and there was just stasis wards, stalkers, and colossi. And this is such a difficult position to engage into as Dark. Like, this choke is just annoying, and I guess you have to kill the rocks as Zerg, but then the Protoss moves into your base a little earlier. I don't know. It's a difficult place to fight, but Dark did a good job. Elazer going for that 15 hatch extractor trick with the Overlord once again. Ryung seems to be doing pretty much the same opener. There's nothing much to change for Terran. He could go like CC first, or maybe double gas. He could do a gasless expand. Sadly, doesn't have a Protoss teammate that can make extractors for him, or assimilators they're called. Let's see what Elazer can do here in game number 2. I kind of liked his approach. I liked the roach style, and it, in my mind, could work against the battle mech. But it seemed like Elazer didn't know what was coming, even though, from the information that we had, he should have known. He saw the 3rd CC, he saw the 2nd factory, and he saw a bunch of Hellions. I can understand that he didn't know about the thingamajigs, Cyclones, but then he walked over with the roaches and was greeted by them immediately. But maybe at that point it's too late. Maybe you want to have... I don't think Roach Hydra really works against them. Maybe you want to go like Ravager Ling Bane, but it's rough. I would like to see Elazer kind of change it up a little bit. Maybe not go for a Roach opener this time around, but maybe that's just what he prepared for this tournament, because still no gas. And if that's the case, then all the power to him, honestly. If you're gonna go for a Roach opener again, then maybe just prioritize Burrow this time around. Go for the Burrow, maybe even get the Burrow move. Really good for blocking the lock-on. Forces Ryung to waste a lot of scans. So that would have been pretty strong, and for 100-100, canceling a couple lock-ons and getting scans, that's not bad. So let's see what happens. That's all I would say, honestly, against Elazer. Like, oh, you played good. Maybe get the Burrow. That would work. And then react to what you're seeing with your scouting. Does have another Overlord. We see a 3rd refinery coming out. Wow. And a quick starport here for Ryung. Is that going to be a battle cruiser play? We will have to wait and see. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the last game is the Mag Accelerator upgrade for the Cyclones. I just mentioned that it was coming in, but I prefer to say what it does. And Mag Accelerator gives the Cyclone more damage on their lock-on ability. Now, usually with their normal attack, it does about 350 damage. And so with The upgrade does about 600. So it's almost a damage doubling upgrade, which, if you think about that, is kind of crazy. I think it also... Oh, no, it... Shit. Maybe it just makes them shoot faster, but do the same damage? I don't know. The damage is higher. That's, I think, the most important thing for now. It's a damage boost. Because I'm like, huh, it also did something with the cooldown or the duration, and I'm not sure anymore. But we're not going to see that for now. We see a fusion core and a second starport. Oh my god, is this double starport battle cruiser? Now, I think that Elazer can hold this. If he gets a lair at a decent time, he can just get a Spire, get Corruptors, and just friggin' kill him. Ooh. First the Liberator's coming in. How many queens do we have on the map? 4 queens once again, so Elazer is playing a 4-queen style with a couple roaches. He is getting all of his drones out now. 54 drones, needs to start saturating some extra gases. Starts a lair at a decent time. And might actually get a 4th base as well. Hasn't really been able to get any creep because of the couple Hellions that are on the map. This Viking even killing an Overlord. Like, oh, second Overlord even. I like these Vikings, especially when you're playing Battlecruiser like this. It's really annoying to just lose a couple Overlords. Takes a couple larvae, a couple hundred minerals. Like, it's pretty good. Especially if you have to wait anyways. Do we have that Liberator? Yes, we do. And now double Battlecruisers coming out. No Yamato Cannon being upgraded as of yet. Might see that come out a little later. No 3rd CC for Ryung. And we do see this one roach move across the map from Elazer. Is that a bait? This could be a complete bait. This is literally one roach that's just moving across the map as if he's attacking. Liberator does come into the 3rd base. 2 queens. Is that enough? Ooh, they tank a couple pop shots to the face. We do have a Spore here. This roach is now running across the map. And Elazer starts up a Spire here. He's sniffing something out. I don't know what he saw. Probably the units in the front. He was like, oh, that's a little weird. And Battlecruiser's about to pop. Spire halfway done. An Spore on each base. And 2 in the main already. Dude, Elazer's so ready for this. Do see an Infestation Pit coming out as well. Now Viking checks for a 4th. That would be a nice pick-off with a Battlecruiser. But oh, here it is. The 4th base is at the bottom. Battlecruisers are out, and they pop into the main base. We have 1 Spore already, no transfuses, but a second Spore is here to back it up. Battlecruisers are going to do some damage, though. Are the queens all moving into the main? Yes, they are. 2 queens are here. Another Spore rooted over from the natural. Wow. Elazer was so ready for that. Do have another Liberator here as well. Lots of damage being done by the units of Ryung, but there is a big roach attack moving across the map. And can Ryung stop it? He does have 2 more Battlecruisers coming out, but oh my god. The shutdown is going to happen here. Spire is done. And Ryung does see it. But 9 Corruptors are about to finish up. And a bunch of roaches could just move into the main base or the natural base of Ryung. Couple queens dying. How many queens do we have left? 1 queen. So Elazer pretty committed here to trying to win a fight. He does have 1 Battlecruiser in the air to contest with. Another one is about to spawn, but a lot of the units of Ryung already dying or retreating. Roaches get into the natural mineral line, and 10 SCVs have already gone down. The Corruptors might find these Battlecruisers in the middle of the map, but these roaches now are on hold position and take down a lot of the SCVs. Corruptors do find those Battlecruisers, but they did get their blink cooldown, or whatever it is, warp speed. And now the Corruptors are here. They are going to shut down the 1 Battlecruiser. Second Battlecruiser dies, and there's still this 1 roach actually doing a lot of damage to the SCVs. And they can't quite out-heal the Battlecruiser. Now, SCVs are super good at repairing Battlecruisers because they can sit underneath the Battlecruiser, which gives them way more surface area than they would have on, like, a Thor, for example. But Ryung knows that he is out for the count. His Battlecruisers are going to die. More and more roaches are running across the map, and he just doesn't have anything to deal with those roaches right now. Only has a couple Cyclones just being started up. And if you go for double starport battlecruiser, you kind of have to get like up to that 6 battlecruiser count, get the Yamato, which Ryung did skip out on. I don't want to say it would have helped, but a Yamato does one-shot a Corruptor. So if Elazer comes in with like his, well, I think it was like 9 Corruptors, you probably kill like 2 or 3, like the 2 over here. I don't know if you would use them on Ravagers, I hope not, but you might. I mean, he did see the Spire, so I don't know if that helps, but it might. Because if a Elazer or a Elazer can't kill the battlecruisers, and then there's still 4 battlecruisers, and the Corruptors, because they get thinned out quicker, don't have the DPS, then all of a sudden, Elazer can't kill the battlecruisers, Ryung stays alive, gets a 3rd base, gets the Cyclone Force, and has a battlecruiser force to boot, and all of a sudden, this game goes really, or, well, Ryung stays in the game, I guess. Game number 3, huh? And for game number 3, we load up into Ultralove, not lore accurate, but we are here in the final game of this best of 3, Ryung and Elazer. The winner has very good chances of making it out of this group as 2nd place. And the loser probably is getting 3rd place at best. Top 2 advances, because of course Serral exists. We did see Elazer play 2-base versus Serral, which, you know, those CVCs were really cool. I know it's been a while since I casted those, but I do recommend those. We see the hatch into the Overlord coming out. Ryung opening with 1 gas so far. I kind of like that he went for the 2 battlecruiser opener and then wanted to go into the Cyclones, but that might have been a little bit too much. He was cooking a little too much, you know, he overcooked a little bit. So let's see if he can kind of go back into a bit of a more solid strategy. I would love to see him just get a fast 3rd CC and abuse the fact that he knows that Elazer probably wants to open up Gasless again with just Roaches. I wouldn't even have minded just like a 2-base or a 2 Barracks Reaper, just to put on some pressure, because Elazer's just not going to have Ling speed, and it's going to be awkward. But I don't know if Ryung really likes that build. You can still transition into Cyclones from there, have a couple extra Reapers in your army. Would have been cool. So let's see what he does. Almost has that 100 gas. Only the 1 gas mining though. So not going for the super fast factory. Is prioritizing that natural. Wants to get that up ASAP. Overlord of Elazer sees... Probably didn't see the Reaper actually. Only if it comes from here. But we'll be able to snoop into the main base. And wow, Elazer does get a 3rd base here. The Reaper getting juked by the drone. And no denial will take place. And no gas as of now. Ryung didn't see that though. Didn't even look far enough to see the gas mining either, but there it goes. 3rd CC goes down for Ryung with the factory. And I think this build will bring him a lot more. Maybe he's going to show us some Banshees, as Banshees are just really good against Roach attacks. So if you go for like the Cloak Banshees, especially with Elazer's low Queen count, you might even be able to just straight up deny a 4th base for a little bit. Do you see quick starport coming out? And let's see if this is a tech lab for that starport. 2nd gas being added on. Elazer has some gas in the bank, is starting the Roach Warren again, and so Elazer doing the same build once again, making me think about Nurtio, as this is basically what Nurtio was doing early, like 2017, which I don't know if you can see the poster behind me, but that one was from the WCS World Finals, where I think that was the last one Nurtio was at. That is like 8 years ago. Holy balls. I'm old. I already knew that. Just dramatizing it. We do see Banshee coming out. No upgrade being done on the tech lab as of now. He could start it to fake it, and he does start it. And Elazer is going to see that upgrade. He's going to see the 3rd CC, so he knows what's up. And let's see how he reacts. Does get a creep tumor here at the front with the 4 Queen style. Oh, he cancels an Evo chamber. That is interesting. And 4 Hellions are just going to run in. Oh, no. Oh, no. He canceled and he couldn't finish the wall because of that. Elazer getting insta-punished. 10 drones are going down. 11. That is just rough. And now he's putting drones onto gas even. Dude, he has 9 drones on gas out of his 46 drones. It's like more than 1/5 of his economy is on gas right now. That is very painful for his mineral economy, which of course is pretty important if you are the Zerg. Now, we do see the spores going down. Elazer reacting to the fact that he did see Banshees coming out. And he's going to finish up Cloak here, Ryung is, which I do like. Oh, these Hellions find that creep tumor right away. I mean, Elazer did see the Hellions. Maybe it was like the fraction of a second before. Maybe it's just muscle memory. But you put these Overlords out here to make sure that there's no Hellions here when you press the tumor, as you can't cancel them anymore. Does anybody remember that back in the day? Canceling your creep tumors? Oh my lord. That was good. Oh my god, these Hellions. Oh, the tumor does finish up. So we do need a scan here. Double Cloak Banshees coming in. No more drones have been lost, but those 11 drones, that's pretty rough. 4 Queens. Double Evo coming out, and oh, here come the Banshees. They take down 1 drone, 2 drone, 3 drone. Are gonna find a 4th. Poor little buddy. Didn't stand a chance. So a couple drones being shaved off. We do have a 4th base and more drones coming in. So Elazer is making this a fight, but it's a rough start for him. And Bio is on the menu, boys. For Ryung, he's getting his medevacs. He's getting some Bio. He's getting the stim and double upgrades for the Bios underway as well. Overseer is here. Sees a lot of Marines, which is luckily for him enough to ascertain that yes, it's probably going to be Bio. No combat shields on those Marines though, but I mean, you don't make these unless you're like Goody or something. You know, just like a naked 10 Marines out of the 1 barracks you still have. Ooh, these Hellions, dude. Kill another tumor. Elazer does keep a lot of drones alive, and he's getting up to a respectable amount of drones. Has 12 roaches on the map as his army hive is coming out. Roach speed is about to finish, but his 1-1 is slightly lacking. We're lagging behind against Ryung's army here. Now, with stim done, drops could start to come in. I would love to see Ryung go for double drop right now, and then the second round of medevacs that come out go for another drop. Ooh, the Changeling gets killed. That shows the drop a little bit. We do see Elazer run to the top side, trying to mirror that out. Command center. Oh, these roaches do find 1 SCV for their trouble. Even delay the 4th base for a little bit and do not die at all. Oh, look at that. An Ultralisk cavern here for Elazer. So he's going for a couple Vipers and then he wants to go into Ultralisk against this Bio army. Very Bly-esque. That is cool. Let's see if he also adds on a couple Infestors. He might add in 1 round of Queens, so he has the Transfuse. Although those are a little more expensive nowadays. Oh, and here are those Banshees. Told you, they are pretty good against Roach-based armies. If you don't make any Hydras, these Banshees are super annoying, especially when they start clicking the Ravagers. Super duper annoying. Now look at the army count from Ryung. It's pretty high. I know a couple of it, or a little bit of it, is in the Banshees and the medevacs, but it's still very scary. We even have some Hellbats. Nicely placed army from Elazer here. Forces the siege up over Ryung a little earlier, so we can actually fight the Bio without being in range of a lot of those tanks. No, you need to take this fight, Elazer! Take that fight. Oh, Blinding Cloud comes out. Nice Viper usage there. And there's only 3 tanks here, but it is pretty difficult to fight here, because if you look at a laser vision, he sees nothing at all. Nothing. Needs to send in some changelings, needs to run in some lings, something to see what's happening. 2 Cloaked Banshees being menaces, and now the reinforcements do come in from Ryung. He's taken a 4th base behind this, but we do have a lot of Ultralisks here. Oh, but Elazer, if he pushes through this choke, that's going to be really painful. Does have the Ultralisks in front, and they are pushing units aside. The Vipers come in, do put down the Blinding Clouds, but they get killed by the Marines. Chitinous Plating is not done, so the Ultralisks have only 1 armor on top of their 2 base armor. And wow, Ryung's Marines are doing a lot of damage. The Spore reroutes, trying to shoot a couple medevacs, but these drones are not safe. And we see Elazer running across the map to try and deal with this 4th base a little bit. He knows it should be there. Or there. And now Roach Ravager running around trying to stop this drop play. The Vipers dying is hugely painful. Oh my god, and the Mules! Oh my god, Ryung! He used a Mule Force Field! That was not even like matter muling. He actually muled to make sure the Ultras got stuck. Dude, Ryung just styling on our boy over here. Wow, do see a Corrosive Bile hit the Banshee. So Elazer styling him back a little bit. And this drop still being annoying at the 3rd base. This Banshee still being annoying. And more units of Ryung are on the map. Elazer is near max because he's making very high supply units right now. And these Ultralisks did get their Chitinous Plating. So we do see the Ultralisks are a little bit more beefy. The Marines can't even really kite them right now. But Ultralisk speed is coming up. Ultralisk can't catch up to Stimmed Marines even with the speed upgrade anymore. They are completely red, but they did get out. These medevacs almost have no energy. We do see some Infestors and more Vipers coming out, so Elazer's still in the game, and if he has a good amount of Ultralisks, and he gets us around, he can kill a lot of bio from Ryung, but we do see the Ghost Academy coming out, Siege Tanks coming out, aplenty, 2 factories, and 3/3 for the bios coming out as well. We do see 2+2 armor for the Ultralisks here. And now Burrow is coming out. So let's see if Elazer can make use of that in this game. 2 medevacs are moving across the map through creep. So Elazer is ready to deal with this. Gets to kill 1 Marine and now follows the medevacs around. A couple Ultralisks try to get up there as well. How many Ultralisks do we have in total? 5 Ultralisks, 3 Infestors, 2 Vipers. Now these Vipers could really do a number on the medevac count, and there isn't a lot of medevacs right now. So that would be pretty nice. Ryung also supply block, so can't make additional medevacs. Nice Ultralisk run by here at the 5th, or a potential 5th location. More command centers coming down here for Ryung. Look at that, he's just making more of them. Just turtling it up. Wow, big fungals here near the base of Elazer. Nice job. Oh my god, these Marines actually try to snipe some more. Infestors do not end up taking it down, and they kill the tower actually. And sometimes 1 unit does get stuck underneath the tower. If they are, like, in the perfect position, or you, like, hold position a full army, you lose, like, a unit. That's a little wonky, StarCraft physics. Do have the 1 Ultralisk over here. The 4th base for Ryung is up. Elazer has a 5th base, but not a lot of drones there anymore. That to become static defense. 2 Vipers, 3 Infestors, 5 Ultras, and a bunch of Roaches. I would like to see Elazer transition out of these Roaches right now, go into a Hydralisk Den, go into Ling Bane. But these Roaches just aren't it, sir. Because we have 9 Siege Tanks on the map. I would love to see them, like, just donate, and well, not donate it, but just run into this 4th base, hold position, kill a bunch of SCVs, maybe kill, like, 1 or 2 tanks. But, of course, he would need vision for that, run a bunch of Changeling in there, Changelings. Do see the Baneling Nest, we do see the Zergling speed now, and melee upgrades, and +3 Carapace, so we actually might see him stop make Roaches, makes a bunch of Ravagers out of those Roaches. It's pretty nice. 12 Ravager army, wow. Ryung, oh my god, Ryung just doesn't care, he's all about the slow game here. Oh, the Infestor doesn't get the fungal off! We do see nice Blinding Clouds, but the Ravagers in the back are still able to fight, but the Ultralisk in the front already killed. A couple Siege Tanks also die, but it was all a diversion for another attack from Elazer. Does make this CC float up. And a nice fungal here. Ultralisk chomping it up. Kills a couple bio units, but not as many as you'd like to see if you're a Elazer. He does have a decent bank though, and we have entered the late game for sure. Both of these players getting all of their upgrades. Yeah, just readying up for the super late game themselves. We see a decent amount of overseers. We see a lot of upgrades coming out, and I hope that we're also going to see some Night Eye from a Elazer. The Nidus Worm would be very nice. Elazer tries to get this base, but sees with the Zilnaga Tower. But there's a couple medevacs over here. Could even get a Spire and just a couple Corruptors, although there is still a number of ghosts on the map. How many? 9 ghosts. Changelings trying to get in there, but Ryung is on the money ball with his attention. And suddenly this game just becomes really awkward. It is grinding to a halt. Elazer is double expanding to the corners, denying those bases for Ryung, whereas Ryung is going for double drops to try and contest the corner bases. So both players really playing the long game here, knowing that these corner bases are the ones that are, in the end, the hardest to contest. And if you can mine them out a little early, then even if your opponent gets a hold of them later, you've stolen some of their minerals. Which, of course, if I take €1 out of your pocket, that is -€1 for you and +€1 for me, which means it's a €2 differential, which, you know, I think everybody knows what a euro is nowadays. This is the currency that people in Europe use, if they have to. The Brits don't. This orbital command is completely choking up this front area. I really like that Ryung just completely securing his field center over there. But Elazer ready to deny this expansion attempt from Ryung. But, oh, he's a little afraid. And now the ghosts are coming in. Wow, we see high-sec auto-tracking. We see building armor. And high-sec auto-tracking, of course, gives range to static defense for Terran. So he's doing all the esoteric upgrades. Really ramping up and getting himself ready for the super late game. Elazer tries to super saturate this bottom base, but does end up losing it. More reinforcements do come in. Bunch of spore crawlers are just for the intimidation factor, really. The Hydralisk or Ultralisk does go down. The Infestor does get Burrow off, so he does stay alive. We do have the top base for Elazer now, but these drones are about to run into their own deaths. No, Elazer, yes, does save them. A nuke is going down from Ryung. Oh my god. They are really going for a super epic last game here in this best of 3. With even nukes coming out, Elazer doesn't know what to build anymore. He has a big chunk of bank. And 2 more nukes are coming out. Even the medevac energy upgrade is coming out. And 3 libs at a time. Liberator range is also out. And Elazer nicely denies this 5th base from Ryung. And of course, it's kind of a double purpose. If you crush this base, it's also harder for Ryung to set up on your corner bases, which Elazer is going to try and take once again. It's kind of funny how there's no bases at all in the middle of the map. Like, the middle of the map is super choked with these bridges. Ultralove. You are kind of an interesting map. Oh, this Ultralisk. Oh, Infestor does get scanned. It could still throw out some fungals, though. Do see a Liberator go down to the Ravager Biles. We still have a couple Ravagers on the field. 7 Ravagers, 5 Ultralisks, 2 Infestors, 1 Viper. And this is the moment where it becomes kind of difficult as a Zerg to really do something versus the Terran without taking super inefficient trades. And if you see Serral in this position, it feels rough unless you are kind of ahead. Like, what do? Do you go into like a lurker style? Do you try and shark with Infestors? And if you are behind the army, get 1 or 2 fungals and then collapse with your entire army? Elazer is looking at Banelings, because Banelings are good against Ghosts. Ghosts do get 1 snipe on the Ravagers, and the rest of the snipes do get cancelled. And there's a big forest of static defense. Oh my god, look at Ryung. He has literally 1 completely zoomed out screen of siege tanks just standing here. He has 15 siege tanks. So you might be thinking, Broodlords, baby. I'm sorry to inform you that Broodlords kinda suck. I think it might still be his best shot right now to get like 1 round of Broodlords and really like, get creep, get spores, get spines, get broodlords, get infestors, and maybe even some vipers or something to try and deal with these ghosts. And just throw broodlings into the siege line. Because if you fungal the ghost and you throw broodlings on top of them, so you have some Ling Bane in the front probably as well, you might actually do a lot of friendly damage. And then you could still use the Ultra Ling, try and bust down the back. And, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Niduses in the main would also be nice. But Elazer, I mean, Mr. Elazer is pretty rich, and he's making 44 Banelings. I don't know if that's so many Banelings, but it's quite a few Banelings. As we already have 57 on the map, 29 more coming in. So that is almost 80 Banelings. That's 40 supply of Banelings. Because Banelings are very good. Ooh, these queens getting the creep further and further, but Ryung just slowly but surely expanding forward. And Elazer doesn't have this bottom base, but does have the top one. Looks like this one was hit with a nuke. Oh, the Infestor does get a nice little fungal there, but wasn't that necessary, honestly, in the Viking or the Medivacs do make sure that those a bunch of those units survive. Of course, fungal units can't get picked up. This top base is in peril. Nuke is going down. Zoning nuke does kill 2 creep tumors. But Ryung does establish the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base. And he just starts making more CCs in the front. He's just like, yeah, look at all these CCs that I can afford. I'm a rich too, boy. And Elazer's had it. Throws in the Baneling Armada. Kills that 6th base. Rams in a lot of the Banelings into the army of Ryung. But a lot of the army was just kiting away. And now, these Ravagers and Ultralisks, oof, if you are running into Liberators, you almost can never retreat. It's rough out there, honestly. Now let's see how Elazer is doing with his larva economy, which is one of the big things that you have to do in the later game. Looks like he doesn't have a lot of larva right now. 10 larva. And 10 larva could help him mostly remax, but not looking too good. He's making some ultras. Very low larva count unit for the amount of supply and money that they cost. So decent investment. But he could do with a couple like macro hatches or queens. Like, if you just build 3 hatches here, that's a lot of free larva. And you do have the money. I would love to see some queens on the side bases as well. Get some transfuse, get some more creep. Maybe even some spines and spores, but I understand that we are getting nuked to all hell. I would at least like 2 spires to go down now. Spires or Nidus Worms. You could also go for like Lurker tech, but I feel like Lurkers like aren't that good. Especially into siege tanks. Still have 15 siege tanks on the map, 4 libs and 9 ghosts. And Ryung is Mr. Patience, dude. Which reminds me of the player Patience, which I guess he retired at some point. I kind of forgot. But he was a fun Protoss player. So shoutouts. Vipers do find this one tank. They do a little yoink. And they do chomp up the one tank. At the bottom here, a little bit of bio does manage to clean up this base. We do have a little force out of Elazer. Throws in a bunch of Banelings. Does manage to take down all of these Marauders. And maybe gets to take down the Ghosts as well. Yes, he does. Wow, this Ultralisk, what a boss. Has 7 kills. Another nuke coming out. Another nuke as well. Don't you solar, my boy. Although there is no Broodlords, but still. I would call it, confidently call it the solar to get your entire army nuked. Especially by Maru. And I mean, Ryung is pretty close to Maru. In a lot of ways. The Elazer investing more and more money in these corner bases. He is slowly but surely mining them out, even at the cost of mining out these other bases. And this Soldaga Tower not being held by Elazer. Now more bios coming out, and he just can't hold both of the bases. Ooh, Elazer. How are you going to deal with this? Both players have a lot of upgrades. 2-2 for vehicle and air coming out for Ryung. He's continuing the upgrades here in the super late game, whereas Elazer's kind of just stopped doing any of the upgrades. He already has all of, like, the esoteric upgrades that he's thinking about. But no Hydralisk upgrades, no Spire upgrades. And, I mean, Swarm was done of upgrades. Oh, this Infestor does get a decent fungal there. Gets a bit of the bio. A nuke does go down, and a laser could kill this 6th once again if he wants to. Also, as a Forcer at the bottom, I would love him to A-move both of them in now. And let's see what happens. Bunch more Ravagers coming out. A laser playing this one slow and methodical as well. Oh, this Infestor, does he have vision? Oh, it does get the fungal off. Nice. The Ultralisk and the Lings will get a little bit of a trade. Another Infestor does get sniped down. This bottom base again in peril. This 6th base did survive, and it can be muled out pretty fast. Not a lot of SCVs, but the biggest thing for Ryung probably is just the gas mining that it can do here. More Lings coming in for a laser. Still has a bunch of moolah in the bank. Now Lings and Ultralisks come in from behind. Nice wraparound. Gets a surround on all of those siege tanks, and now actually gets a position on this 4th base. And is going to get a couple more tanks, but that's a lot of tanks. Oh my god! This Ultralisk! Oh! Whoa, that Ultralisk got one-tapped. Well, not really, but kinda. You know, needed a lot of siege tanks for that, but one volley of siege tanks, and that Ultralisk was completely gonzo. And this base for Ryung is now down as well. Laser super saturating this base once again. And now gets the gases as well, but his top base got denied again. We're just ping-ponging back and forth here, trying to get these corner bases. A laser with the Ling Ravager Baneling Ultralisk style with both of the spellcasters. Lings get on top of the siege tanks. Very nice micro there, or control by a laser. Is able to click down this orbital. Ravager shots do damage it a lot, but it does not go down. Ryung puts his attention down here. Might open up an opportunity for Laser to take the base at the top again, but no. Ryung has a pretty decent force there and is dealing damage to the drone lines of a Laser. Only has 50 drones remaining right now. Hasn't been mining this right middle base at all, dude. He needs to really check his drone count the once and just make some more drones, because he can't keep up the trading like this. You see his bank falling and falling. I mean, as long as Ryung doesn't get one of the corner bases, I think it's okay, but like Ryung is basically preparing himself for like a battlecruiser switch or something. Do see a nuke over here, and this is a lot of Ultralisks ready to do some damage. We have one siege tank, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the back. And wow, we even get another hatchery up top there. SCVs and drones mining together in harmony. One of the drones does, yeah, the ghost does go down there on the Zilmaga tower. Infestor is burrowed. Is this the only Infestor? No, we have one more Infestor somewhere. And it's sneaking up. There's no turrets here. So Laser does get some vision. And if he sees this big clump of bio, that just might make him a little bloodthirsty. We do have a couple Ultralisks here trying to secure the perimeter. And this bio probably is not going to agree with that. Ooh, this Infestor, dude. Might get a nice fungal. And, ooh, Liberator. The Laser pulls the trigger, runs in. And the Infestor gets one fungal on all of the ghosts. Very nice. A second fungal on the ghosts as well. But these Ultralisks, they fat big boys. And a couple of them do die, but 8 of them do escape into the medevacs. And now there's not enough Lings anymore to really help this push from a Laser at the top. He loses another hatchery, but he does have Ultra Ling here. Does try to deal with that bio army, but of course, medevacs, pretty good units. I think if he had one Viper in the dead space on each side and just throwing parasitic bombs on medevacs and liberators, he could actually whittle down his opponent. Because I think Vipers can't really get sniped, but they can get EMP'd, right? But I don't think you can snipe them if you're moving in and then you can move out again. But I might be wrong. Ooh, a Laser loses the bottom base now as well. And Ryung is making it very difficult for him to deal with that. An orbital just flying in. He's like just asserting dominance. Ooh, here comes an Infestor. Nice fungal on all of those medevacs. Ooh, look at all of those medevacs ticking down to the fungal damage. We love to see it. That's a lot of Ghost, though. There's snipes coming out. And all of the Overseers are down. A couple Ultralisks also biting to dust, and more siege tanks are coming out. And Elazer broke as a joke. 37 drones. Why are you not mining from this middle right base? Dude, he's tunnel visioning so much on the corner bases, which honestly is kind of what he should do, but he just doesn't have the money anymore. I feel like he should retreat at this point and make infinite Infestors, because that's all he can really do with this low of a mineral income. Oh, this Infestor, oh no, gets sniped. We do have a little bit of detection from the turret, and then a scan coming out as well. Big bio-army coming in, and Elazer, oh no, that fight that we saw was basically the last hurrah from Elazer, not managing his economy as well as he should have this game, and Ryung just completely bleeding him out. If you look at the amount of money that Elazer has lost inefficiently this game, you have to pause the video probably, but oh, Infestor, you are input. Ooh, the turret of doom. I don't think we have any more Infestors. We have one Infestor. Where are you, buddy? Where are you? Oh, there he is. He's over there. Do have a couple broodlings here. That base is gonzo, and Ryung sees the last mining base of Elazer, which is kind of by choice by Elazer, because he just refuses to mine that center base out. It's better to keep this base, or even the top base, I suppose, at this, only because Ryung's army's bottom. But keeping some minerals in those bases is a good, like, end game decision. Even for super late game, it's a decent decision. But sending out the drones here consistently has been kind of necking Elazer. I like, it's a good strategic choice, but if you keep losing the drones that go down there, it starts really becoming a problem. 30 drones on the last mining base that Elazer has, and oh my god, Ryung. 18 ghosts. Feels like a million ghosts. And this is the last hurrah. Elazer runs in with the banelings, tries to get on top of the ghosts. They can't really get the connections that they want, and they just stand their ground. They have the medevacs there. Corrosive Bowels do take care of one Liberator, but Ryung stands tall, stands proud, and stands the test of time. A half hour just slowly bleeding out Elazer on two sides of the map. Elazer thought that he was going to bleed out Ryung by taking these quarter bases, mining them out, and just having way more money than Ryung. But if we look at the units lost, if we look at the minerals and gas lost, that's like 20k plus lost by Elazer, which, if I recall correctly, 20k is about a base, might be 15k. So, like, Elazer lost a lot of cash and didn't even mine out this base, so that would have given him a little bit more, you know, working money. But, you know, like every startup, you have to look at your cash flow. Cash flow. That's how a company fails. Liquid money. Wow. Ryung takes game number 3 and gives himself almost a guaranteed ticket to the round of 16, the playoffs, by beating Elazer here 1-2 or 2-1. And that was honestly a pretty cool super late game, and we were almost kind of encroaching the end game there, because both players were about to, like, not have a bank anymore that couldn't replenish their army anymore. But because of how the bases are, they actually expand closer to one another, so Ultralove is kind of cool in that sense. From what I've seen from this map, Ultralove is a pretty cool map for longer games, because it does force interaction a lot of the time, but especially the Solnaga is nicely placed. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Back to some 1v1 action, and if there is a new tournament where the replays are available to me, I'll try and cast that as well. I want to, you know, cast the Homestory Cup 26 for posterity, and hopefully the quality of the games stays like this. You know, some of the games were kind of ruined by the lag, but this was a pretty nice series. So again, hope you enjoyed. Hope you subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.